Good morning, good afternoon, and good evening, depending on where in the world you are tapping in from. You got to remember to keep in mind that Keep It P podcast is a global show, and today we'll be discussing two New Jersey officers witnessed a white cop, ticket a black motorist, but let a white motorist go with just a warning because he's a nice guy. After reporting the discrimination, the department retaliated against them. That's what happened. Are you shocked? Are you appalled even? Are you? Then why aren't we on code? Right. We'll be talking about that and more on this episode of Hold the Mayo.
Music Tuesday.
Kendra, you're the best. Kendra Blackwood is the fucking best.
All right. Welcome to Keep It P Podcast, where we take news and situations and everyday occurrences and we show how one could or could not have been keeping it P. And today I am your host, TZ Von Savage, in the place to be Sucker MCs. Self hug, self love. That's a beatbox and a b-boy stance. You may have thought that was corny, but what's even more corny is if we let the culture die, y'all. And there's other things more corny. And I could go into them like the banana and the kid in the locker, or the letting your baby get their hand put in the toilet and retrieve the phone where there's feces and the kid ain't even the one that put the phone in the toilet. I could do the slumber party and the kid was made to drink pee and eat feces in Texas. No, those are corny that parents are allowing these things to happen to their children and not do nothing about it. No pull up, no nothing. They're abusing our children and we're doing nothing. But let's get into this patheticness. Two New Jersey officers witnessed a white cop, ticket a black motorist. I'm just saying, you're making it a point to point out that it's a black motorist and then there was a white driver. So why not be specific about what the cop was? He was white. That's the only way this makes sense. Right. The driver, he let him go. He was white. He said he's a nice guy. And then they were retaliated against. Who's they? Two New Jersey police officers are suing their department for alleged retaliation after they complained about a fellow cop engaging in blatant racial profiling, which isn't new. Both officers have made history in diversity, equity, and inclusion in the department. Okay, so these are some token. I'm sure there's some token somewhere. It goes on to say what they say. They still have experienced discrimination. You think so? And that the department has systematically, there we go. We have more cops coming forward saying that the systematically, that there's a problem. Systematically. Well, how do you change a system that's not right? That's gone awry. That isn't working. What do you do with a system like that? If you was any other business, you would do away with the system. If the system became obsolete, what would you do? You would do away with the system. That's what you would do. Right. You would come with a new, better, and improved one. Not that complicated. Unless you want to keep that system in place. Unless you believe that system is just fine. Unless you believe that the killing of black people is okay. That anti black racism is okay. Yes, it came from slave patrol. Why wouldn't it be okay? That's what we came from. That's what we're supposed to do. In fact, we have taken an oath and swore that we would put darkies in their place. So these busters, they said it systematically. They're punished. They were punished for speaking out about discriminatory practices within the force. Discrimination. I'm not saying racism. Yep. There it goes. Fish sticks among us, and here comes the mail-splain. Here we come. Get ready to pucker up for this big helping scoop with the airplane of mayo. On Friday, March 25th, Officer Preston Freeman. Hold on, fam. Your name is Preston, fam, and you black? Shout out Preston in the kickball league, that's black. But your name is Preston, brother. And Freeman, the first black sergeant in the Westfield Police Department. Freeman? Fam, Preston Freeman. Come on, Tethery McGoodness. I smell cheetah pea and rhino jerky. And only African American on the force for his first 15 years. I feel sorry for you, brother, but then I really don't, because you put yourself through hell. We put ourselves through so much forced slavery trauma, so many slavery-based traumatic anti-black racism, depressionary situations. Why? Stop it. Break the chaineths. Let's get on code. When are you sick and tired of being sick and tired? And let's hear about Lieutenant Nancy Stivale, the highest ranking female officer in the force's history. Let me guess. Bussy? Am I smelling bussy? Bussy. So we got the first black dude, and we got the bussy captain. The 19-page complaint obtained by, that's why it was discrimination and not racism, because that trumps. Obtained by Atlanta Crackstar, was submitted on behalf of Freeman and Stival by attorney Robert Ballard several weeks after the two were suspended without pay for 45 days. Dang! You kill a black man or black woman and you getting suspended with pay. It's not a question. It's not an option. You're getting all the pay. The union's gonna make sure you got your police rep. He's gonna make sure you get all the pay, all the extra pay, and you're gonna be a millionaire by getting a GoFundMe account. But you report any type of, you go against that blue code, boy. Their superior hit them with 10 charges. 10. Gave them a 10 piece. Gave them a Boston. That's what he gave. Ran a Boston on them. If you don't know nothing about no Boston, shameful. Put your card up. They violated departmental and internal affairs procedures. Dang, you saying they cheating? Internal affairs is nowhere to be found when a brother sister is killed. You never hear about they're being investigated by internal affairs for murder. You never hear that. You never hear that, P. The most hated police officers on the force, internal affairs. Nobody likes them. Why not investigate them? Yeah, let's put away some crooked cops, right? No, no, everybody's in on the anti-black racism. We all in this together. You got the 10 charges. Um, and this all happened when they wrote up a fellow officer for treating traffic offenders differently based on the color of their skin. Their lawsuit states they trumped up and baseless. These trumped up and baseless charges were issued by defendant in direct retaliation by plaintiffs' complaints regarding unlawful behavior, as well as in furtherance of their discriminatory animus towards Sergeant Freeman and Lieutenant Stival because of their inclusion in protected categories. Oh, you can't have the anti-black racism without homophobia. When recalling, we'll call it discrimination, but we can't say anti-black racism. When recalling the January 29th, 2001 incident that sparked the charges, the lawsuit said a white male officer named Christopher Forcinito. This is this buster right there. If you can't see me, it's the fat one in the middle. You see there's two of them in the middle, then there's the fat one, but then there's the super plump hot air balloon one with the crew cut right there with the chubby face. That's him. Allegedly. These two, Frasino was assigned to work the night shift alongside the two. The three were serving between 11 p.m. and 3 a.m. However, based on rank, Forcinento was subordinate to the two officers. While patrolling, the two officers said they observed their white colleague stop a black male on East Broad Street for speeding and failure to keep right. As a result, the cop issued the transgression motorist a summons for driving with an expired license. Later during the shift, the same officer stopped a white male who was driving 65 miles on East Broad Street, where the speed limit is 25 miles, so 40 miles over the speed limit. I was told by police that 15 is a slap in the face to them. So if you're driving 15 miles over the speed limit, that's also for them to be able to write you up for careless, reckless driving as well. But 15 miles over the speed limit, that's a kick in the nards. You're driving almost double over the speed limit. Almost double. However, he did not give him a summons, only gave him a verbal warning before letting him go. When Sergeant Freeman questioned Officer Forcinito about the disparity in his discretion, the lawsuit states, Forcinito responded by stating that he did not have to issue a ticket for speeding and that the driver was a nice guy. Freeman and Stival asked the officer to write up a report sharing why he chose to give one a summons and not the other, despite both drivers making egregious traffic violation. He refused in response to his insubordination. Freeman and Stival fired supervisory complaints of racial profiling against the officer for his behavior that night. The lawsuit states that there was no investigation conducted in the actions of Officer Forcinito that constituted racial profiling and or racial influence policing. Wow. Instead, the two became targets within the days of their reporting. For Forcinito, instead of seeing a follow-up of the discrimination allegations play out, Stival was told by the top brass she was the target of an internal investigation because she acted improperly when she suspended the officer for racial profiling. Dang! You come against Dub S, we gonna take you out. Progressively, the force started complaining that the two engaged in unlawful behavior while on duty. The lawsuit alleges these allegations were in retaliation for them speaking up. This was the tip of the iceberg. The lawsuit offered Freeman the space to speak about over a decade's worth of discrimination. You just now speaking up. If you don't shut up, you 10 years, you talking about some discrimination over 10 years. You just now speaking up. You ought to be ashamed of yourself. Decades worth of discrimination. No, you mean anti-black racism. He is endured as a minority on the force. No, as a black man on the force. In detail, the claim shows a history of acts that have singled out Sergeant Freeman in ways that seem to be based on his race, his black skin. The lawsuit alleges in 2007 his superiors refused to give him a patrol car when he was assigned to the downtown district. You can't get a car? When he complained other officers who were white were allowed to drive cars, the 49-year-old was told, according to the lawsuit, driving a police vehicle was for them, and this walking is for you, Negro. And he still wanted to be down with the king. He still wanted to be down with. I'm smelling tether juice. I'm just telling you. Freeman also claimed another instance of unequal treatment of racism, having to stick to a 30-minute lunch period, noticeably shorter than his white counterparts who would enjoy a full hour. Oh my gosh. The most career impacting claim was around the department's 2018 promotional exam. Freeman identifies the department's chief, Christopher Bartolo, as an agitator who attempted to throw out the examination's result after discovering Freeman scored the second highest marks on the sergeant's test. Of course, we do everything double better, but you don't even believe that about your own self because you want to be a part of the team so bad. You want to be accepted. Chief Bateroro made false claims about the validity of the test and further stated he would not promote any officers off the exam list. The claim alleged. Freeman hired an attorney and threatened to sue if the test results were discounted. The threat prompted Bateloro to reluctantly promote Sergeant Freeman to the position of sergeant. Look, you gotta beg and fight and scratch. Why would I want to work somewhere where I gotta do all that? The lawsuit alleges, and you work for the Slave Patrol if you didn't know, the lawsuit alleges the promotion was the nexus to a litany of bigoted treatment the officer experienced. Of course, as a sergeant, Sergeant Freeman had faced intense scrutiny and had his decisions questioned on a regular basis by Chief Bataloro and Captain Frank Paravano, both of whom white, the filings claims. You see how I'm saying their name on purpose? You see they're all clicked in and relatives and they getting on code against you. Also, he was subjugated to racially offensive conversations from his higher ups about people of color, about black people. Dude, stop. See, that's what's wrong with you. And you're going to have to hold your own chicken wings on this, although I believe it is jollof rice. I believe this is fufu. You're going to have to hold your own fufu. It goes on to say, in June 2021, when talking about crime in the area, Bataloro allegedly referred to black residents as ants, stating that they were everywhere and they are like ants. You get rid of one and there is another. He talking about killing y'all. You see, heard that? He talking about killing black people. When you get rid of one, what's get rid of? Whacking, right? When you get rid of one and put them in jail, that ain't what you're talking about. You're talking about get rid of one. Whacking. When you get rid of an ant, what do you pick it up and take it outside? What do you go put it in its jail? No, you kill it. That's what he's talking about. The lawsuit brought up issues of gender discrimination. I don't care, fam. Don't care. Not no. Blah blah blah. You always try to add that. You still ain't even said no racism, nothing black. Everything's discriminatory. Everything's blah blah blah. Both are currently facing internal disciplinary action as a result of the internal affairs investigation. When the town is served, we will thoroughly review the lawsuit and vigorously defends the town's interests as necessary. That the Westfield Police Department remains fully committed to the professional standards of excellence for which it has been recognized through state accreditations. We have to let you know that this is a stand-up department. Well, he been there a long time, over 15 years, because he was the only black officer there for a long time, for over 15 years. So, ain't he have something to do with that? No? Super cop with the second highest testing ever on the sergeant's test? No? Yeah? Huh? No? All that mayo in there? That's the end of it. They had to let you know how great the department is. That's what you get, though, brother. I got love for you and all that, but that's what you get, though. Tethers of a feather. That's what I think he is, brother. You understand? And if you're not, you need to be ashamed of yourself. If you FBA, brother, you glutton for punishment. I'm glad you're finally standing up for yourself, but is it really standing up for yourself? What's the lawsuit gonna be? That you just want an apology? You want some documentation, some legislations written on toilet paper? That's what you want? That's what you're gonna ask for? But I ain't gonna hold you. I'm just gonna mold you, scold you, and fold you about being on cold. We need you to do us a favor. We putting our money where our mouth is. That's cool if y'all don't want to spend and buy no gear. We ain't in the begging and all that. Get the knowledge. Let's get on cold. But what I am gonna ask you to do is sign the petition. It's in the description. You can also go to jlava.com and sign the petition to declare anti-Black racism a public health crisis. And why is that? Because when you do that, then there's money. And what money are we talking about? Reparations, real reparations, not that California stuff, not that Illinois stuff where they give you a voucher for a house you can't possibly ever afford. No, not that. And it's not a voucher for the house. It's a $25,000 blah, 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 blah. That's not even enough for the down payment. Right. So don't get hoodwinked and bamboozled. This is about that real bread. We talking about some trill deals. We went in and we talked about trill deals. We want 22-something million as a first down payment for us, and we ain't playing. Go sign the petition. Also, what you think about this real quick? Let me get on before we get on out of here. Do you believe in this? This is the reparations I'm talking about. Then if do you believe in that, do you believe in this? See that color? That's called reparations green. That's not money green. It's reparations green. And get yours right now so that we have it by March 2023. And this is what we gonna rep on St. Patrick's Day. You got all them goofies dyeing this green, wearing this green, kiss me, I'm Irish, and they Black. Well, let's show them how to represent, and we gonna take over and bum rush the holiday, y'all. 2023 in March, St. Patrick's Day. We turning it into Reparations Green Day. That's right. Love, peace, blessings, and Maloha, y'all. Take these commercials from the sponsors, man. Come on now, I need you to look through them. Go support them at least. Take that.
Music TV.
Everybody know you get the money from that ride before you went on today. I told you motherfucker ain't got your money yet, man. Fuck you, man. You ain't got the money yet. Fuck you think you is, man. Motherfucking Ron O'Neal or something. What you gonna do? I'm supposed to be scared now because you got a pistol, motherfucker. I got it.
Look, I don't play with this shit. You don't even know what I gave to this shit. Self-made with this shit. I slay with this shit. Been a lot of roads I done paved with this shit. Look, see, I don't play with this shit.
Kyrie with the give and go. I get it cheap for the low. More snow than the Eskimo big birdies. Taking flight, change your life in one night. By 2 a.m. if you do it right. Up late like nigga night. Small fish, big appetite. Get an extra 4 if you whip it right. Got good gas and it's light bright. Got
He been hula hooping through loopholes, working round shit. You can count lava down, but you can't count them out, baby. Life give me lemons, I make lemon rain. I gotta go, gotta hustle to get it. If you ain't talking business, little shawty, you
Hey, Ray.
Hey Rihanna. designer. Hey girl, how you doing? I'm into you like Trump's into Putin. I know that might sound a little confusing. I had to say it for my own amusement. What I'm trying to say is, can we go cruising? Top down, blow some good gas, and listen.
Russian cream, leaves, Keith, oil, premium bud. Man, I hustle in the street, but I'm a freak with the love.
Bring that ass over, tryna bring it back, back, back. I'm a big dog, tryna bring it back, back, back. I'ma slide in the way to bring it back, back, back. Let a nigga.
All I wanna do is see you move it. All I wanna do is see you get down. All I wanna do is see you move it. All I wanna do is see you get down. All I wanna do is see you move it. All I wanna do is see you get down. All I wanna do is see you move it.
Music TV.